G'day and welcome to ReDriven. Now, the ute/pickup has become one of Australia's most popular genres of cars, especially in 4x4 dual cab form, with the Toyota HiLux and the Ford Ranger consistently topping highest selling cars lists. But there are a few models out there that are regularly overlooked and they deserve more attention. These aren't necessarily the best utes in the used car market, but if you are in the market, they're definitely worth a look. Also, to put this list together, we reached out to a whole bunch of different 4x4 owners groups, dozens of different 4x4 specialist mechanics and technicians, 4x4 accessory stores, and just 4x4 fans in general. So this list is basically the culmination of all their expertise. I'm just the messenger. If you don't like the list, don't blame me, blame them. Anyway, here are our top 5 underrated 4x4 utes/pickups. Okay, kicking things off, let's dive straight into the deep end of controversy. It's the SsangYong Action Sport 2. Here's the thing with 4x4 utes and pickups. They're getting really expensive, and we're not sure how many people are actually willing to throw their $70,000 to $100,000 modified HiLux or Ranger deep into the wilderness with near zero care for its well-being. Let's be honest, we're all seeing a lot of Ranger Raptors on the road that have clearly never been taken off-road. So instead of dropping a decent house deposit amount of money on an adventure vehicle, why not save potentially tens of thousands of dollars and just get something that you don't really care about? If it gets all scratched up and dented, sweet, because that's where the SsangYong Action Sport 2 comes in. Okay, it's not the most refined 4x4 dual cab ute on the road or the most capable off-road, and it can be a bit limited with what weight you can actually load into that tray. But for more of a lifestyle ute, something that can handle your camping gear and maybe a couple of mountain bikes that will still tackle the vast majority of terrain most normal people would attempt, this thing is great, especially for what it costs. While the 2015 Toyota HiLux with well over 250,000 kilometres on it will set you back at least around $25,000 here in Australia, a 2015 Action Sport 2 with around 100,000 kilometres on it will be asking easily $10,000 less. That's $10,000 that can be spent on some quality all-terrains, maybe some suspension and body mods, and whatever other accessories you desire. Okay, yes, you can get the hideous pre-facelift Action Sport for even less, but the Series 2 not only fixed that vomit-inducing face, it thoroughly upgraded the interior, refined and improved the engine, the transmission and the suspension, and it's just so much better in every way. As we mentioned at the start, the Action, it fits into that criteria that it isn't the best ute out there, but for something that can be treated like a ute should be treated, and not just some accessory-laden show pony, it's underrated. Now, while we complain about our rubbish roads here in Australia, India takes the concept of a bad road and just turns it up to 11. Like, they have main roads over there that resemble something more like an off-road obstacle course. But our next vehicle was designed to tackle these horrible conditions and potentially do it for decades to come. It's the Mahindra Pik Up. If you love value for money, the Mahindra will tick that box convincingly. What you get for what you pay with this thing is excellent. You can pick up a used Mahindra Pik Up from around about 15,000 Australian dollars, and for that you're going to get a rugged utilitarian ute, which is arguably even more of a truck than a ute, and it's one that's designed to be punished. However, if you do desire luxury car levels of creature comforts and accommodation, maybe look elsewhere. Mechanical features and equipment wise, you'll have an Eaton self-locking rear diff, a Borg & Warner transfer case, and an engine that is based on that of a tractor, meaning it's super understressed in a ute. Plus, in terms of off-roading ability, according to our experts, the Mahindra responds incredibly well to a few modifications and accessories. The Mahindra Pik Up offers a very worthy, look, granted less powerful, alternative to the 70 Series Land Cruiser. It just happens to cost tens of thousands of dollars less, plus it's lighter, so it should be cheaper on fuel and consumables than the Toyota. Okay, look, yes, it looks a little bit weird. It won't tow as much when fully laden as the 70 Series, and it doesn't have the same incredible reputation, support network, or fan base as the Toyota. But when you're saving quite literally at least $25,000 over the Land Cruiser, the Mahindra deserves far more attention. Guys, at the moment, there are loads of 2019 and 2020 70 Series Land Cruisers for sale asking over $150,000 here in Australia, while a near new 2021 Mahindra Pik Up will set you back under $35,000. Is the 70 Series really worth potentially $115,000 more than the Mahindra? Let us know in the comments. In a world dominated by the HiLux and the Ranger, this thing deserves far more attention than it gets. It's the Isuzu D-MAX from 2002 till, well, about now. Depending on where you're watching this from, this might be called a Chevrolet D-MAX or a Holden Colorado or even a Zamiad Padra. But whatever it's called, they come with a great reputation. It's just a shame more people don't buy them. Depending on the variant that you're looking at, a D-MAX packing the 4JJ1 3-litre turbo diesel sports a reputation for simplicity, low service costs, and reliability. And look, while the early models, they did have a few teething issues, these days, those faults, they should have been sorted. Plus, even with just some tweaking and massaging of that ECU, these things can make serious power. And while not a standout in any one area, the Isuzu tends to be just pretty bloody decent at everything. The ride can be a bit harsh on the earlier models, but look, it's fine. It's decent off-road without excelling, and it can carry a respectable amount of load versus the competition. But the D-MAX will save you thousands in comparison to the more popular and year and model specific alternatives. When we filmed this, a 2010 4x4 dual cab D-MAX with a little under 200,000 kilometers on the clock will set you back around about $20,000. But the equivalent Toyota HiLux is asking at least $10,000 more. You know, it's funny, for a ute that isn't shown a lot of love, those that do have them, love them. While it's known to be a superb, large four-wheel drive wagon, loads of people forget that these are available as a ute/pickup. It's the GU Nissan Patrol. When standard, the GU Ute is one of the best out-of-the-box four-wheel drive utes you can buy. But spend a few dollars and hours installing some quality aftermarket components, and this platform can be transformed into a beast of an off-roader or even a tourer. In terms of the engine, look, we're not going to open the can of worms that is diesel versus petrol, as this is an argument that petrol owners will be having for decades to come. But if you're on a very tight budget, maybe check out the petrol-engined variants. And if you can spend a little bit more, the iconic TD42 equipped examples are more than worth a look. However, while you might save some money buying the petrol-engined variants, the fuel costs will quickly add up. But then again, so will the servicing costs on the diesel ones. Look, either way, the Patrol Ute is a brilliant piece of kit, especially if you're planning on tweaking it to be truly your own. Okay, look, sure, it misses out on the interior space and interior practicality of a dual cab ute. It's a pretty utilitarian piece of kit, and guys, make sure you watch our Ultimate 4x4 Buyer's Guide video before you buy one. The link is just up there and in the description. But the Patrol Ute offers a near indestructible driveline, coils all round, a great sized tray, and it deserves far more attention than it gets. And with pricing for the majority of decent examples ranging from around about 20,000 to 50,000 Aussie dollars, most budgets will be catered for. Now guys, if you're enjoying this video, can I ask a favor? Can you hit those like, subscribe and bell buttons? And also, can you share this video? The more you hit those buttons and the more you share this, the more of these videos we can make. And hopefully that would be a good thing. Okay, look, thanks to rust, these things are becoming pretty rare, but they are out there and they do pop up for sale now and again. And guys, they're not only one of the most forgotten and underrated utes, they're one of the most forgotten and underrated cars in general. We call it the Subaru Brumby, you might call it the Brat, the Shifter, or the MV. As we stated at the start of the video, these utes aren't necessarily the best or the most capable or the most luxurious. They're just utes that are underrated, and we feel the little Brumby deserves far more attention and respect than it gets. Popular on farms and in regional areas during the 1980s and 90s, the Brumby came about at a time when Subaru were trying to establish themselves internationally, building a capable, rugged, ultra-reliable workhorse of a compact ute that drove like a car, yet could still cart a load of stuff to pretty much wherever it needed to go. Owners loved these things, with many even deregistering them once they were past the point of being able to be given a roadworthy tick of approval, only to continually be used as the go-to form of farm transport. The Brumby is not powerful, it won't tackle any hardcore off-roading, it's not safe, and it lacks in really any sort of creature comforts. But the examples still surviving these days have generally been looked after, and even in the worst case scenario, they make for a great little project car, and they offer such an enjoyable and unique experience. Guys, it's the perfect blend. Small enough to tackle a small parking spot or a tight bush track, a tub big enough to swallow some camping gear or a few tools, an all-wheel drive system robust and capable enough to get you just lost enough, and build quality that will get you back out again, and all while having the driving dynamics of a car. Hey Subaru, can you hurry up and make a modern version of the Brumby, please? Guys, thank you so much for watching, and what did you think of the list? Let us know in those comments. Oh, remember, can you please hit those like, subscribe and bell buttons, and please share this video. Again, the more you do of that, the more of these videos we can make. Oh, go and check us out on the socials as well. See you next time. Mechanical or fan bases underrated for sale time. No, we call it the Subaru Brumby. You might call it the Brat, the what is it, Shifter, or the MV. And we feel the little Brumby deserves far more attention and respect than it deserves. Than it gets. Idiot. The Brumby came about at a time when Subaru, I write this stuff and I can't say it. This is ridiculous.